हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज डॉक्टर निर्मलांशु हियर। सो आज हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं थर्मोडायनेमिक्स का ऑलमोस्ट लास्ट टॉपिक यू कैन से, दैट इज सेकंड लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स। सो व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी, इट इज सेकंड लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स। ओके, नाउ वी हैव सीन दैट what we have seen that spontaneity of a system, it is closely related or linked with the randomness of system. Means the spontaneity of a system is closely related with the entropy of system. So there is a correlation between the two, and that has been forwarded in terms of second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so that has been forwarded. The correlation between the entropy and spontaneity of a system is has been put forward in terms of second law of thermodynamics. Now this second law states. Second law states that all naturally occurring spontaneous processes, all spontaneous processes or naturally occurring processes are thermodynamically irreversible. So the first statement is all spontaneous processes or naturally occurring processes are thermodynamically irreversible. Okay, ये है फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, thermodynamically irreversible। ये सब स्टेटमेंट्स जो है, ये सब डेफिनेशंस जो है, ये सब तुमको मेरा नोट्स में मिलेगा, एंड ऑल्सो यू विल गेट इन योर NCERT बुक। ओके, so when I will provide you the notes, you will get all these things. Okay, second statement is that without any help of external agency, a spontaneous process cannot be reversed. Without the help of any external agency, okay, without the help of any external agency, a spontaneous process cannot be reversed. A spontaneous process cannot be reversed. Okay, so जो naturally occurring processes हो रहा है, वो without any help, this process cannot be put back. Okay, this process cannot be reversed. For example, when we know that heat energy flow from hot body to cold body of its own. Heat energy flows from hot body to cold body of its own, but not from cold body to hot body. So if we want to flow the heat energy from cold body to the hot body, some external agency has to be put forward. Okay, third statement is that entropy of isolated system must increase. Means the third statement is that delta S system, it should be positive, it should be greater than 0 or it should be positive. Fourth statement is that in non-isolated system, total entropy of in a non-isolated system, the total entropy of system and surroundings should be positive. Means that the entropy delta S system plus delta S surroundings should be greater than 0. Delta S surroundings should be greater than 0. And the fifth statement is that total entropy of universe, the total entropy of universe, it should be positive, it should increase in a spontaneous process. That is delta S total, which is equal to delta S system, plus delta S surroundings. It should be greater than 0. It should increase in a spontaneous process. Okay, so these are all 5 statements of second law of thermodynamics. Now, Willard Gibbs, he has introduced a term which is called free energy. Why he has introduced? Because you see, this entropy can very well define, ये very well define कर सकता है कि प्रोसेस स्पॉन्टेनियस है या नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस है, लेकिन डायरेक्शन ऑफ स्पॉन्टेनिटी ये एंट्रोपी डिफाइन नहीं कर सकता है. द डायरेक्शन ऑफ स्पॉन्टेनिटी कैन नॉट बी डिफाइंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ एंट्रोपी. So Willard Gibbs, he has introduced a term which is called Gibbs free energy, and since he has introduced that term, so he has given it the symbol upon his name, that is, he has said that the Gibbs free energy is denoted by capital G. So what he has said? He has given a relation, the Gibbs free energy. He has introduced this free energy term to predict the direction of spontaneity of a process which is generated by G, and he has given a relation between the Gibbs free energy with enthalpy and entropy of a system. So H minus Ts. H minus Ts, where H is equal to enthalpy, of system, T is equal to temperature in Kelvin scale, and S is equal to entropy. Okay. So he has given a relation between this free energy change with enthalpy and entropy. Okay. So next, what we have said that let us suppose a system, it is in initial state, say state 1. Let us suppose a system, it is in initial state, say state 1. So its equation will be G1 is equal to H1 minus Ts1. So it is in state 1 condition. Okay. Now it has undergone. It has changed to another state, say state 2, at constant temperature T. So it has undergone. It has changed to state 2 at constant temperature T. So the equation will be G2 equal to H2 minus Ts2, because temperature is T. I have not given because temperature is constant. Okay. So what will be the change in free energy? So change in free energy, that is delta G will be equal to what is the change in free energy? So delta G is equal to G2 minus G1. G2 minus G1 is equal to H2 minus Ts2 minus H1 plus Ts1. So is equal to H2 minus H1 minus common Ts2 minus S1. Okay. So H2 minus H1 is what? Delta H, and Ts2 minus S1 is what? Delta S. So he has given a relation between change in free energy with change in enthalpy and change in entropy of a system. This equation delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S is called Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Gibbs-Helmholtz, because Helmholtz also helped him to get that equation, and this equation is called Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Okay. Now, free energy change and predicting spontaneity of a reaction. So we know that delta S total is equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. Delta S total is equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. So delta S total is equal to delta S system plus delta S surrounding. Okay. Now let us consider a process or a reaction which is carried out at constant temperature and pressure, and let's suppose that surroundings have lost heat while the system has gained that heat. So if the heat is lost by the surroundings and if the heat is denoted by QP, if the heat is denoted by QP, then delta S surroundings, will be equal to minus QP by T. Minus QP by T. Now this QP, since QP is what? QP is equal to delta H. So therefore we can write delta S surroundings is equal to minus delta H by T. Okay. Now we are going to put this in this equation. Suppose this is equation 1. So delta S total is equal to delta S system plus, not plus, it will be minus delta H by T. Delta H by T. Okay. Now delta S minus delta H by T. So we can write, if we multiply by T, if we multiply both sides, multiply by T, what you will get? Delta S, T delta S total is equal to T delta S system minus delta H. Okay. So we can write, but delta G equal to delta H minus T delta S according to Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. So but delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So according to that equation, we can write delta G equal to minus T delta S. Delta G is equal to minus T delta S means for a process to be spontaneous, delta G should be negative. For a process to be spontaneous, for a spontaneous process, delta G should be equal to negative. Delta G should be negative. Okay. So now if delta G, so we have delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. What we have? Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Okay. So for a process to be spontaneous, we have seen that just now we have seen that the process to be spontaneous, delta G should be negative. So we have delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. So now number 1, if delta G is negative, then what will happen? The process is spontaneous. Okay. Process is spontaneous. If delta G is number 2, if delta G is positive, then the process is non-spontaneous. The process is non-spontaneous. Okay. And what will happen if delta G is equal to 0? If delta G is equal to 0, the process is in equilibrium. The process is in equilibrium. Okay. So these are some conditions. And we have to for a process to be spontaneous, delta G should be negative. Okay. So now the conditions under which delta E is negative. Conditions under which delta G is negative. Now conditions under which this delta G is negative. Delta G is negative. Okay. So what are the conditions? So number 1 condition is delta G is negative when delta H is negative and T delta S is positive. When when number one, when delta H is negative and T delta S is positive. So delta H negative means energy factor is favoring the process and randomness factor also favoring the process. Energy factor favors the process and randomness factor, this is energy factor, this delta H is energy factor and delta S is randomness factor. So both are favoring the process. Okay. So both are favoring the process. Now second condition, when delta G is negative, that is both T delta H and T delta S are negative. When delta H is negative and T delta S is also negative, means energy factor is favoring the process, randomness factor is opposing the process because entropy should be positive. So energy factor is favoring the process and randomness factor is opposing the process. And the third condition is when delta H and T delta S are positive. Delta H is positive and T delta S is also positive. Okay, means energy factor means randomness factor is favoring the process, whereas energy factor is opposing the process. Okay, so these are some conditions that is and the delta G is when delta H is negative and T delta S is positive, means energy factor is favoring the process, randomness factor is also favoring the process. Okay, next delta H is negative, T delta S is also negative. In this case, energy factor is favoring the process, randomness factor is opposing the process. Okay, so the process can be spontaneous. If delta H greater than T delta S. If the process can be spontaneous, because देखो इस रिलेशन में बिठाने से क्या होगा, डेल्टा H नेगेटिव होना है, T डेल्टा S नेगेटिव होगा, तो एनर्जी डेल्टा H should be greater than T delta S, otherwise delta G will not be negative. Number 3 is delta H is positive, T delta S is positive, means energy factor is opposing the process, randomness factor is favoring the process, means the process can be spontaneous if T delta, the process can be spontaneous if T delta S is greater than delta H. Okay, so these are some conditions under which delta G is negative. So we can draw a flow sheet diagram like this. We can draw a flow sheet diagram. So the diagram is like this. If we consider here spontaneity, so if we consider spontaneity of the process, so this is spontaneity. Okay, this is spontaneity, and from this spontaneity, number one condition is spontaneous process, non-spontaneous process. So from this spontaneity, number one condition is spontaneous process and non-spontaneous process. Number two is non-spontaneous process. Okay, and number three is the equilibrium process. The process is in equilibrium. Okay, the process is in equilibrium. So spontaneous process के लिए क्या है, डेल्टा H नेगेटिव होना है, T डेल्टा S पॉजिटिव होना है, and delta G is also negative. ये सब कंडीशन होने से प्रोसेस स्पॉन्टेनियस होगा. नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस प्रोसेस के लिए डेल्टा H पॉजिटिव होने से प्रोसेस नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस हो जाएगा. T डेल्टा S इज नेगेटिव होने से प्रोसेस स्पॉन्टेनियस हो जाएगा, और डेल्टा G पॉजिटिव होने से प्रोसेस नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस हो जाएगा. प्रोसेस इक्विलिब्रियम पे कब आएगा, जब डेल्टा H when delta H is equal to T delta S, that is, we can write delta G is equal to 0. That is, delta G is equal to 0. When delta G is equal to 0, the process is in equilibrium. If the enthalpy change and entropy change are same, and if free energy change is equal to 0, then the process, we will say that the process is in equilibrium. Okay. Now we will give another table. I want to give you another table which will predict the direction of spontaneity. We will predict the spontaneity of a reaction. So let me give that table to you. So it will predict the spontaneity of a reaction, predicting the spontaneity of a reaction, Okay, so it will predict the reaction is spontaneous or not. So here I am going to give sign of delta H, then I am going to give sign of delta S, and I am giving sign of delta G, spontaneity, that is sign of delta G, तो देखो क्या हो रहा है, डेल्टा H अगर नेगेटिव है, डेल्टा H इज नेगेटिव, डेल्टा S इज पॉजिटिव, if it is plus, then delta G is negative. तो डेल्टा G is negative कब होगा, जब नेगेटिव होने से प्रोसेस स्पॉन्टेनियस होगा. डेल्टा H पॉजिटिव, डेल्टा S negative, and process non spontaneous, और ये होगा spontaneous. So I am writing it in short form, SPONT, and ये होगा delta G is positive, so non-spontaneous, I am writing it in short form, non-spontaneous, otherwise it will not fill up in the space. Next is delta H negative, delta S negative, delta H negative, delta S negative, delta S is also negative, then delta G is negative, spontaneous होने के लिए delta G is negative, so process क्या होगा, spontaneous होगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट है डेल्टा H नेगेटिव, डेल्टा S नेगेटिव, delta H positive, delta S positive, delta H is also positive, delta S is also positive, means energy factor is opposing the process, Reynolds factor is favoring the process, so process non spontaneous होगा. Delta G is positive and the process is non spontaneous, okay. Then energy factor is opposing the process, delta H positive, delta S is also positive, means Reynolds factor is favoring the process, so spontaneous होगा. Delta G is negative, and the process is spontaneous, okay. अगर डेल्टा H नेगेटिव है, अगर डेल्टा S भी अगर नेगेटिव है, एंड टेम्परेचर इज हाई, तो ये स्पेशल केस है. टेम्परेचर इज हाई, तो प्रोसेस नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस, डेल्टा G क्या होगा, पॉजिटिव होगा, एंड द प्रोसेस इज नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस, ओके. So I think this table will help you people. Okay, if you can learn this table, it will help you. So for the process spontaneous कब होगा और कैसे होगा, किस condition में process spontaneous होगा. So this is all about Gibbs energy and the relation between Gibbs energy change, enthalpy change and entropy change of a system. And my dear students, with this we have come to the end of this chapter, and there are some problems also related to this chapter, to this topic, which you will get in my notes. So study safely and sincerely. With this I want to conclude here. We will meet probably with the next new chapter. So this is the end of your thermodynamics chapter. Thank you very much, my dear students, for your patience hearing. Thank you.